Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. I want to welcome all the ladies, gentlemen, and gentle beings of all stripes to the show tonight. And in particular, I want to welcome my guest, Kenny from Kenny Numbers. Kenny, how are you tonight?
Doing very well, Matt. Thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
I'm just curious if you had a chance to do any submit your recommendations and your nominations to the CBC Awards
You
yet.
know, I haven't. I've heard it being mentioned. I don't know the exact process or the website to go to, but if I can find that on your site, I'll visit it and I'll
Well,
definitely
we will.
put those in.
I will send you the link after if you
Okay,
haven't got it.
great.
I know that people out there have been checking out the site already. There's been quite a few channels nominated. I want to thank everybody who's nominated me so far. I've seen that I've been nominated for my channel itself and for the Sunday Superhero Show. So I want to thank everybody out there who's taken the time to do that. And so, having said that, let us go to you and Little Kenny, as in Mr. Child Kenny. What got little Kenny into comic books?
Well,
Or
Matt, that is going back a ways, so far that it's almost hard to remember. But yeah, it was little Kenny. It was 9-year-old Kenny in 1974. So back then, I didn't. The only thing I knew about superheroes was the Superman show from the 50s with George Reeves, the
Mhm.
Batman show from the 60s with Adam West, and the Spider-Man cartoon, if you remember that original one with the famous
Spider Man,
theme song. Yeah,
Spider Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. I didn't really know anything else um, about superheroes, really, or much about comic books. But I did have some kind of impression with comic books because when I did first start, I had this thing in my head. I'm 9 years old. I'm too old for comic books. That's what I believe. So I don't know what my impression was. It must have been about like very kiddie type things, like I don't know, cartoon characters or something. Who knows? So back then, it was my brother, and he had been visiting a friend who was into comic books, and he came home talking about comic books and telling me about superheroes, and I was listening, and it seemed kind of interesting. And he brought up one who was supposedly the strongest superhero. Um, but it would have had a Marvel bent on it because Superman wasn't mentioned, and he mentioned the Hulk. I'm like, well, that perked my
Pretty
ears up
strong.
for a couple of reasons. I'm like, well, the strongest, that sounds interesting. If you're going to like one, like the strongest. And then he said Hulk. I'm like, I never heard that word before at 9 years old. I'm like, what the heck is he saying? So I'm thinking he's saying hawk. I'm thinking he's mispronouncing hawk. The hawk? Okay, whatever. So anyway, shortly thereafter, this was summer vacation, right? After
Hmm.
third grade. Shortly thereafter, a couple of weeks or so, we're downtown with my mom. We go in this convenience store slash smoke shop. And why we went in there, I have no idea. I still don't know. I was in there this one time, and it was very faithful. This one time my whole life. Anyway, I went in, and at the very back, the owner, was sitting back there on a stool. And to the right, on the wall, was like magazine racks filled with comic books.
Nice.
Okay, comic books. So, I kind of heard about these superheroes in comic books and this Hawk or this Hulk character. So I was looking, and the Hulk, the logo jumped out. I just saw it. So I said to the guy, I'll have that one. So he brought it down, and he showed it to me, and I bought it. And I see this green man on the cover with these gigantic muscles, and I'm like, this is crazy, and this is it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, that got me. That was the first thing, but it was one of those things, love at first sight. Telling
Very
you, it
cool.
was love at first sight because I just right away was engrossed and fascinated and loved the characters, the stories, and the artwork, the colors and the artwork, especially, and still to this day. Back then, I was very easily pleased with the stories, and I kind of still am. But I really have real strict likes and dislikes for artwork.
Mhm.
So my brother was collecting, he's jumped in and he started collecting Fantastic Four, Avengers, Captain America's his hero that he's just nuts for still to this day, and a little bit of Spider-Man. So I was seeing his books and getting to know the characters a bit and Hulk. And then same month in another store, saw the Hulk on the cover of another comic book. I'm like, what? The Hulk is on the cover of another comic book? I got to get that. So that was Defenders.
Very
And
cool. I'm a big Defenders fan. So
I love those early Defenders. I got
yeah.
like roughly the first 50 issues. And from there, it just kept growing as far as reading more, seeing. I was getting exposure to characters in like some of those collected editions back then, reprints, and from a kid, we all take memories that we have when we were kids, and those things that we loved, toys or books or shows or anything. And nothing grabbed me the way comic books grabbed me. And that has lasted to this day. I can almost get emotional because it's followed me my whole life and it's always been there. Even though I've collected on and off for 52 years. There have been long periods when I've been off, but I've always come back and find a lot of joy in it. And I'm happy to be on your show because in 52 years, I only knew one kid in junior high who liked comics, and we went to a convention back in the 70s, and I don't have any friends currently who are into comic books. Because back then, sorry, Matt, let me just say, back then, it was fringe, and it's still fringe. I forget about the movies and all of that. Yeah. Comic book collecting is still fringe. I told my wife I'm going on YouTube to talk about comic books. I might as well have said I'm going to Mars. So anyway,
I know back then. Exactly. I had to explain to my wife back in the 80s, if you were over 12, you hid that crap. You didn't let people know unless someone gave you a hint that they like Dungeons and Dragons or Star Trek or Star Wars or comic books in conversation, and that you picked up on that. Nobody would admit to it. The odd person would wear a T-shirt, but they'd say my mom bought it. Well,
Matt, I don't admit to it now. Not I'm afraid to, but I don't advertise it. And the thing is, like I don't have them around the house. All my stuff is stuffed into a closet. It's so dense. It's like you need a machete to get through it. To just pull out the books I pulled out was like quite a job.
All right. Well, before we get too much further, let's say hi to the Nefarious Comics chat tonight. Nefarious Comics chat. There's my my video song there. We've got Mr. K Unit, Andres, still first. I swear he's obsessed, and I love it. And we've got next up, we've got Turtwig. Good to see you, Turtwig. He, I think, is in Rhode Island as well. I think he's mentioned that. Mark is here from Mark's Issues with Archie. Good to see you. A great video you made today there, Mark. We got Lewis from Second Floor Comics, who's going to be on the show in a little while, a couple weeks, I believe. Good to see you, Lewis. Rich is here. Hi, Big Nasty. Let's see here. Conversations going on. Thomas O'Donnell is here. Hi, Thomas. And more conversation going on. Lyle is here. Good to see you, Lyle.
Hi, Lyle.
Let's see. Longest Cosplays is dropped in. Good to see you as well. And we've got Mike Pope is here. Mike, how are you? Nate from Holyak Comics is here. And after tonight's show, if you're not doing anything, go check him out on his channel. He's going to have Rich, Johnny, and the rest, the rest of the crowd out there. And they're going to have their fun, and it's a lot of fun to watch myself. Who-Dat's here. Hi, Who-Dat. Good to see you. Kenneth Bird is here. Hi, Kenneth. And Mike Dennis is here. Hi, Mike. Great to see you. So to follow up your the earlier question, you fell in love with the Hulk and thus Marvel. Would you say
Yes.
that to this day, Marvel is your number one collection priority, or has your taste changed?
Yes, you know, again, it's like, it's sort of what happens when you're a kid, what you get really hooked into. You know, some go with both. For me, it was Marvel. So I'm
Mhm.
one of those Marvel guys predominantly. But, you know, I like to think I have an open mind, and I've been dabbling a little bit in just a little bit of DC, some Brave and the Bold, and some Detective
Mhm.
Comics, a little bit of Batman and whatnot, and a little bit of Aquaman, and I sure would like to get a lot more. And Steven has shown some phenomenal books, some
Yeah, Steven,
phenomenal.
you can tell Steven was
That,
primarily DC by the runs he shows, but
he
he
shows,
also he loves Marvel monsters though. Like I mean, like
yeah,
everybody has that little thing. Like I love the Marvel characters that are more on the supernatural side, like the Son of Satan, Ghost Rider,
yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed to
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a big. Sorry, go ahead.
Steven has shown some runs of books, some Silver Age books, like whatever, The Flash or Adam Strange, or that are just phenomenal. They'd make, and you fall in love with them, Marvel or not, you know. So
Yeah,
it's definitely opened my eyes and said there's a lot more out there.
yeah, sure, Lyle. You don't have a lot of books. So what I'm going to do, Kenny, is I'm going to make you big, and we'll let you show us what you brought.
Okay, well, I brought a lot, like a lot. So we'll see what we can get through. I'm not going to talk a lot, except maybe the first few I'll talk a little bit about, because they're
Mhm.
books that actually survived, most of them, from when I was a kid. So I'll show those. So I hope my opening was probably way too long, and I'm sorry to go on so long and bore people. But back to that first Hulk comic book that I bought in that convenience store back then. I'll show that. And for those of you who are kind of clued in, the year was 1974, and it was the first week of August. So the comic book that the proprietor brought down was this one.
Oh my God! Well, that's one hell of a book to have as your first one.
That's the first comic book I ever got.
Very
Um,
impressive.
Now, real quick, is on my screen this is reversed. Is this normal for
Yeah,
people? Okay.
yeah. I can see. I see it. We see it as right
Okay, there's
normal.
a bit of glare or whatever. Now, unfortunately, this particular one is not my original one. This is a replacement copy. I got this in 1992 at Heroes Con, believe it or not. And the guy wanted $50. I offered him 40. He wasn't happy, but he took it. So I got it for $40. It's like a mid-grade, maybe a 6.0.
Wow.
And I'm very happy to have this. Um, the circumstances for what happened to my original and everything that ensued from that point, I'm not going to go into that story because it's really long, and I still have deep emotional scars from all the missed opportunities of this book. Okay, that's that. Okay, so that was my first comic book. All right, so then I just started collecting the Hulk. So I got the next one, 182. So there's 182.
Very cool. We just did that on Comic Collector Club not too long ago.
Now, about a year later, I did a mail order purchase. I bought the 10 previous prior issues of the Hulk prior to 181. I sent away for them, and it was $6.75, which I thought was kind of pricey at the time. So, of course, that included this one, 180.
Of
Okay,
course.
180.
Good.
So this comic
Talk
book,
about a great investment.
yeah. So this is I was looking at it. I'd say it's an 8.0. It's a solid 8.0. It looks a little better. So this comic book, yeah, it was 51 years ago, but it cost me 67.5 cents. All
Thomas
right.
would like to know, what did you think about Wolverine after reading that issue?
Again, this was the very first comic book I ever read in my life, and I was 9 years old. But I thought he was super cool. You know, his speed, his ferociousness, the claws were cool, and he was like battling the Hulk. You know, Not that I was an expert on the Hulk, but I saw that it says right in the front, he's 7 feet tall, 1,000 pounds. So, and he's taking on this guy who's kind of small and giving him a run for his money. So I thought it was super cool. And then the whole thing, I think it was mentioned right in that book, it's from Canada and all that. But if not that one, the next one. So I'll show another few Hulk books. I just pick books mostly at random. This is a cover I really like. This is a Maurice Severin cover. This is a well-known cover.
What issue is that?
It's Hulk 105. This is a classic.
Cool.
This is a classic cover. And then I'll show two I got, I don't know, might have been around 1980. It's a flea market, and they had comic books. So two early-ish Hulks, like 110. So this one and the next one, I got them for like $1.
Wow.
But that you think of the times. I went to a handful of conventions in the 70s and early 80s, and definitely in the 70s, they were selling these comics for 40 cents. Cover price.
I believe it because I remember flea markets in the 70s. I mean, I'm a child of the 70s too. K Munin wants to know, what era of comics do you focus your collection on?
Well, I had zeroed in on certain titles, Marvel titles. And my favorite era is mid to late Silver Age to mid Bronze Age, because that was from when I started and like the period just before. And that look, that style, the whole feel of it, everything is what I love. So I've been going for runs in Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and some other ones, right? Whatever. So I've been really focusing on those. Was buying them about 20 something years ago, and I kind of stopped because the earlier issues of Fantastic Four, Spider-Man were so damn expensive. I'm like, I'm going to go broke. I wish I didn't stop, because now they're like 5-10 times the price, whatever they are. They're way higher. So this is the second one I got at the flea market. These are pretty high grade. I mean, these are very nice.
They look really nice. They really do look nice.
I've had these for like 45 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Have you read most of your books?
That's a question,
Well, some people do, some people don't. Some people rather read them online so they don't wreck the books themselves.
Yeah.
I read the books myself.
I haven't. I mean, all these Hulk books, I read all the Hulk books, all the Conan books, all the Savage Sword, and various other books and some collected editions. But for years and years, I'm like addicted. I'm like totally obsessed with comic books and collecting. It's about the hunt, the search, the acquisition, and the filing away and on to the next. So my reading is very embarrassing. I don't really read a lot of them now, and I keep saying I got to read, or buy collected edition and read that once in a while. So those runs are what I've really focused on. But in the past year and a half, 2 years, watching Alan's channel and the Monday Night Special in particular, has totally opened my eyes to the Golden Age. And I'm really getting a real appreciation for the Golden Age. So I've started buying Golden Age books. So for the past year, I've only been buying Golden Age and just here and there a Silver Age or a Bronze Age, just here and there. But I'm like, those books are so common. The Silver and the Bronze, you find them anytime, anyway. I mean,
yeah,
there's no effort there. You'll find those books. They're not a dime a dozen. They're a dime for 1,000. So, so I'm like, and some of these books I can't justify. Still to this day, going back to that Hulk 181. So yeah, I'd like a 9.4. Yeah, the money I'm going to spend on that is like 509/8 or whatever the heck the census is. I can't justify that. I could go buy a Dream Golden Age book. So here's another Hulk book. It's the first appearance of the Wendigo.
Nice.
Who's in that Hulk 181? Okay, and then I got an early-ish appearance of.
Question for Kenny from Four Color Flophouse, which is Jeff Jack. How were you able to hold on to your collection and not sell it over the years like some of us did? Did you ever stop collecting and start again?
Well, I'm one of those guys who gets attached and can't let go of stuff, so I don't like letting stuff go. And even from when I was a kid, I took supreme care of the books and cherished them, and that's why I have them. I haven't needed to sell. I recently asked my son, I'm like, when I'm gone, you're going to be stuck with these books. How do you feel about that? He's like, well, if you get a lot of enjoyment out of it, don't worry about it. Enjoy it. So that's why I'm still buying at 61 years old.
Mm-hmm. My wife
Now,
says the same thing to me. Like I said, you're going to get stuck with these. And she's like, don't worry about it. I'd rather you enjoy them. And to be honest, I've given her a list of like 4 people to contact if something ever was to happen to me. So,
well, that's the thing. And it meant a lot to me, it meant a lot. And if he said, I don't want to be stuck with him, I'd start selling. So this is the first Defenders book I got, again, just a random book.
Well, yeah,
Defender
but that's
16.
early Defenders. Wow. Good for
But
you. That's amazing.
This is the one I bought way back in the day. And so this cover, this inside, the art, everything, I'm emotionally attached to it. I bought another one just to have one in high grade, but I loved that book. Okay, and then I'll just show a few more early Defenders since I brought them out. Number 17, see Luke Cage on the cover, and then 18, the Wrecking Crew. Okay, I know I'm going through them kind of quick, and number 19.
Very cool.
And
all
these
of those Defenders I used to have at one point.
Yeah.
And yes, they're Gil Kane's Biggie Shaq. You're correct. So some of them are Gil Kane. But I had some of them before, but I haven't been able to find them again.
I've filled in most of the issues from first 50 issues. I filled in most of those. So my rule of thumb is I don't collect, is like the 25-cent cover price. I usually don't collect anything beyond 25 cents on the cover. So like this 1965,
1975, I think is this.
Yes, 1975.
Yeah.
So I bought this off the shelf back in the day, Avengers 1.
Oh, Invaders 1. Now I'm jealous.
Yeah, Invaders, not Avengers. Invaders 1. I thought it was cool looking with the World War II idea, and I bought this off the racks. Nova 1, and I like Nova. Back in the day, collected that for a little while. Picked up, a few Bronze Age Spider-Man. I know I'm going through these a little quicker now, but I have to because I'm talking too much. So here's another nice one.
You can talk as much as you like.
Well,
Aunt May marries Doc Ock. Oh boy.
So just like on the pre-show, Matt, this is my 15 minutes of fame. I got to try to do the best I can now. This might be the only time, I'm ever invited on anywhere. Now, my brother was collecting Fantastic Four, and he came home with this. So I had to get it because this is another Hulk thing.
Yes.
Hulk thing, so you can't top that. And I'll tell you what, this book, it looks like a 9.2 to me. And I would have bought this. Beautiful. I would have been like 10. I've had this since I was 10.
Core would like to know. Core would like to know if you have Invaders 4, because that was his first American comic book.
I do, actually. I do have it. I have 1 through 4.
And Lyle says you're doing a great job, Kenny.
Lyle, thank you very much. Coming from you, that means a lot. I appreciate that. Now, a few years later, I discovered these paperback books starring Conan the Barbarian. They put these 12 paperback books out, and I read them all, and I just loved the character. I didn't buy my first Conan the Barbarian until the next year, 1978. And Conan then became my favorite character, period. Full stop. That's it. Conan the Barbarian.
I love Conan. Honestly, Marvel's Conan, probably the best ever fantasy title, period.
Yeah,
275 issues there.
Just totally love. I'm still missing some issues. I'm missing maybe 20 issues out of the 275.
Yeah, I need at last count, I need 78 of them myself.
Yeah. And then Savage Sword, I was just bananas for Savage Sword because of the artwork, the black and white, the sophistication of the stories, all of that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't bring any today. I got tired. I'm 61. I got tired. So here's Conan 1.
Yeah, but you brought the important one.
I got out of comic books in 1980 for 12 years. And I'll just say this. So, I'm reading the Hulk, and every single issue, they said the same 5 things. Hulk has no friends. Hulk wants friends. Where are Hulk's friends? Hulk just wants to be alone. Don't bother the Hulk. Hulk is the strongest one there is. Hulk will smash. The madder Hulk gets, the stronger Hulk. I couldn't read that anymore. Like, I can't read this. I'm done. So, but I kept collecting Savage Sword for the next almost a decade because I wasn't letting that go. So this one I actually got at a convention in like 78 or
Conan
79.
3. Wow.
Well, this is 2. This is number 2.
Oh, that's 2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was a. You're right. That's 2. Yes.
This is 2. This is a little beat up, but a year or 2 ago I got a nice high grade slabbed one. Now this one
I don't
got.
have that one. I've seen the cover, but I always thought it was 3. Wow, very cool.
This one is super high grade. This has a shot at a 9.6. This is Conan 3.
Yes.
And I got this.
Okay, I've seen that too. I've seen all the Barry Smith covers. I only own 3, but I've seen them all. They're just beautiful.
So when I got back into comic books, believe it or not, when I was in grad school in 92, and I drove past, there was a comic book store. Now, when I grew up, there was no such thing as comic book stores. And even in the 80s, well, I wasn't really collecting in the 80s, just the odd thing. It was a comic book store. I stopped in and it fired me up for comic books. So I went and I bought these while I was in grad school. And this is super high grade. I love that one. So I'm just going to whip through the top 10. The top
Number
10
4.
Conans. Here's number 4. Here's number 4. Here's number 5. This is one I had. I bought again like around 1979 or 80 or something like that.
Wow. See,
number 5.
You had living in the area you did. Were you northern? Were you close to New York City?
Yeah, very close. I was like 45 minutes outside.
Yeah, so you had the chance to do a lot of conventions. I didn't go to my first convention until 1988, and I'd been collecting comics in 75 or 76. So
well, let me show you something real quick. I brought it out. I thought maybe I'll show it. I don't know if this was my first convention, but it might have been. And it was one in New York. They called it the Marvel Con. So this is the little brochure from the Marvel Con. It was 1976.
Very cool.
And, in front and back. And it's hard to really show the interior, but I don't know. Whatever. Just a few different,
cool.
Different things in there. So anyway, so here's number 6.
Very cool.
6. Oh, okay, and then number 7. These are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yes, Lewis wants to know if you've gone to Forbidden Planet or Midtown.
I think I stumbled upon Forbidden Planet once. I don't even know when. I mean, has it been around since the 80s? I think I got in there once then. In Midtown Comics, I got in there once in like 93. It's probably when I was home from school. Here's number 8.
Wow.
Here's number 8. These are all high grade.
Yeah, I can tell.
These are high grade. This is
especially that one with the white cover with the background.
This is, I mean, it's a minimum of a 9.4. And then this one was this number 9. So I'm just showing these because, these are some of my favorite comic books that I own. And number 10. And that's the first 10 Conan. Now, if I'm going too fast or you want to slow me down, just say something. So I also buy a little bit of some of the Marvel horror. But this is a post-2000 collecting thing. So I'll show a few of these. There's a nice Tomb of Dracula.
Very nice.
It's a nice book.
And in the single digits, even.
Yeah. Really cool. Here's number 16. I just picked out some what I thought were nice covers. 16.
That is a very gorgeous cover. That's exactly the type of cover that people like here.
This one is I love this cover.
Oh, what's it?
It's called Giant Size Chillers, and
what's her name?
Lilith.
Lilith. Okay, yes.
Yeah, she's looking pretty good on the cover, so I had to have that. And then this was another one, Giant Size Dracula, and we see the girl in the background, right?
Yeah, so she's in bondage.
Yeah, she's the high point of the cover. So those are all beautiful. And then a couple of Werewolf Plug, the artist Mike Plug, he's awesome. So here's Werewolf by name.
We were talking about Mike Plug the other night on Biggie's show, I think.
Were you?
Yeah.
and another Werewolf by Night. I'll just show a few of these real quick.
Very nice.
Again, I'm going through them quick, but I want to cover books and show kind of what I get, I'm into. Here's another one. But there's a few Werewolf by Night covers that I really like with Dracula on the cover. They're really good. They're really cool. They're more expensive. And sorry for the reaching. Oh, and I'll show a few of the Frankensteins. So
That's for you, Rich, if you're still here.
That's number 2. I don't have a number 1. Here's number 3.
Beautiful.
3. Yeah, really, really nice. I just love all this stuff. Love comic art. Period.
Yeah, it's some of the most beautiful things ever.
So all right. So we're moving along. Now, some of these books, well, these two were I got them within the past like 6 or 8 months, so they were laying around. They're not in Mylar. I haven't really processed them, but they were there. So here's a Bronze Age Thor. Because I'm collecting Thor and Journey into Mystery, and I'd like to fill in all those. And here's a Silver Age. It's got the price. I didn't get it for that. I got it for a little less than that. I forgot. I was at a convention. I've been going to a convention here and there in the last few years.
Who is what is the name on there?
Replicas.
Replicas.
Yeah. Well, Replicas. Well, again, Matt, I have to admit, because I don't, I haven't read it, so I really have no idea. But now here's a little bit of my little minor dabbling into DC, and I was really liking some of these Brave and the Bold. I just really got into them. So here's number 59.
Oh, good book to start with.
Yeah,
that's one of the first. It's one of the first Batman team ups in Brave of the Bold. It's either the first or the second.
Yeah, I think this might be the first. So, and then I like this one. This is number 64.
Yes, that's on my wish list. Go checks, not just for go checks, but the fact that I like Eclipso a lot. Eclipso back then was a very, very interesting character.
All right, so I got a few more. I bought these for a reason, mostly the covers. So what number is this? This is 67. It's a nice one.
And by this point, it's all Batman team ups.
Yeah. Now this one I liked. I like this. Sorry, there's this purple background, and the cover itself, obviously. With Hawkman, I really like this one.
Yes, that's a gorgeous one.
So I went after that one, and then I like this one. This might have been the first one I bought. This is number 75 with the Spectre, and I really like this cover.
That is so hard to find in any good grade, partly because of the background, but also that is one of the most popular Batman book, Brave and the Bold books from that era.
Yeah, this is nice. I mean, this could be a 9.0. I mean, this is very nice. I bought that, I don't know, years ago now. Probably over 12, maybe 12 years ago. All right, let me get into a few more DC. Because I don't want to lose the people who like DC, and I'm not showing any. Now I saw this cover. I got this some years ago, and I have to have that. So this is Aquaman number 37.
Oh, yes, I actually recently bought that myself off of Alan. Alan had 2 copies. I bought one of them.
Yeah, I've seen Alan show it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there it is. Yeah. So I love that one. And then I bought these a little more recently. And these are the Nick Cardy.
Another covers. Great cover. That's a great Nick Cardy cover. One of the best Aquaman ones he did. Turtwig would like to know what's hanging behind you.
Well, these are 3. They're just like posters. I got them at New York Comic Con in like 2010. But I put them on like wooden backings and put like acrylic over the top. Just a few covers that I like. You can see what they are. So here's Aquaman 46, another one of these. And what you might notice is Alan's mentioned this, and the thing is I feel the same way. Some of these covers, when you have like the hero, he's holding usually a woman who's like passed out. Like that. I just tend to like those covers. So he's holding a mirror like that, and the black background. I like comics with the black background, so that's cool. And then another one. I thought this was cool.
Yes, Nick Cardy's from the time he starts at Aquaman to the time he finishes his run on Action Comics as doing Superman, some of his best covers of all time. That is that decade.
All right. This is Detective Comics number 360. I mean, again, I don't. These are just like random books. I usually buy them for the cover. I don't go after keys. I don't care about keys. If it's something I like and it's a key, great, and I can afford it. Most of the keys I avoid because they're too
That's
much.
one I don't think I've ever seen that in person. That one book.
Really?
I've seen the cover a few times.
Yeah.
I've read the book in a collection, but I don't think I've ever seen it in person.
Now this is Detective 397, and again, it's like this purplish background, and sometimes it's just something like that I need to have. I like the cover too a lot, but that purple, I had to have it. And then what I've wanted to do is buy some early bronze Batman. And I've only just started buying a very few. Actually, not started. I've had these a little while. But I'd love to be picking up more. So I got this, I don't know, some months ago. It's Batman 214. Again, just a random issue, but an early bronze Batman. I thought it's hilarious. I don't know if you're familiar with this one, Matt. They're protesting Batman because he's not married. It's like
yes, they are, because the whole point of that one was hilarious because they were trying to. I think there was. Oh, okay, I'm getting confused with another book, but yeah, they were protesting because he's not married because they think that a strong buck like him needs to be married so that maybe being married will let him be more normal, right? Not going out all night and all that stuff.
Maybe. So here's one. Here's Batman 226, and I love this because of the black cover. And if you look at that guy standing behind Batman, that Scooby-Doo episode, I don't know what they call him, with that ghost guy who makes that funny howling noise. It just reminds me of that, so I don't know. But I just really like that one. And there's some.
Biggie Shack has a question. Have you ever found a big book underpriced? I would say so, considering some of the stories you've told before Biggie got here.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I have any big books, I bought them when they weren't underpriced. You know what I mean? They've grown to be a good deal, but it's hard to find deal. I mean, I if I could just get something what I think is fair. And I don't want to go off on what I see dealers charging at conventions because I'll be ostracized from the community, and we don't want to have a negative kind of attitude in your show. So let's go to some Silver Age. I grabbed out a few Fantastic Four. Here's number 22. Now this is a recent book. Yeah, it's a recent book for me, and I slowly fill in one book at a time. Start filling in some of these runs. I got a stack of books over there. They better not fall over. Okay, is this number 23? So I got 22 and 23.
Wow.
Dr. Doom cover. All right, I should start making another stack. Well, they're pretty solid. Now, I bought this one. I think I bought this in 93 at a local show in New Jersey. And this is Fantastic 425. Now this one I think it's the first part of a two-part story, again with the Hulk and the Thing battling. And I don't have 26. I think 26 is part 2, and I'd love to have that someday. But so
yeah, it's not their first fight, but I think it's their second fight, and and the story was longer. Yes.
Yeah, their first fight was in number 12, and I'd love to have that. Really love to have that one. Okay, let me grab. Okay, the first book went down. Just give me a minute. Matt.
Yeah. Well, Lewis has a question anyway. He wants to know what type of top loaders you use.
No, everything I'm showing is in Mylar, except a few that.
There's your answer, Louis.
Yeah, they're all Mylars. I don't use top loaders. All right. I'm very particular. If I have any issues with these books, you're going to see someone have a complete mental collapse live. So
And
You want
Jeff
to do it?
Jack would like to know, do you have any more goals in your collecting, or are you just enjoying collecting what you find?
Oh no, I totally go after books. It's the holes in the runs, and like I said, I've been starting to buy some Golden Age, and they're very particular books, very particular covers. Um, there's so much out there, and so much appeals to me. Like all of us, we're all crazy. We all love tons and tons of comic books, and so much appeals to me. The funds aren't limited, so we have to. I have to really be choosy. So it's to fill these holes in these runs, or very particular like books, Golden Age books, or something that really strikes me. So here's number 32.
Death of a Hero. Very cool.
I bought this one only because it's like, did you ever get any deals? Well, this isn't a big book. This is just like a run filler book. But I bought this on eBay. I don't know, like pre-2010, maybe 2005 or something, 20 years ago, for 99 cents.
Oh, jeez.
It fell through the cracks. The guy listed a slew of books. They were ending like 30 seconds at 30-second intervals, and that one just fell through the cracks, and I got lucky. Here's a nice one, another Hulk thing, Bronze Age, number 112.
Yeah, see, I need that to fill a hole. I've got to run from 110 to 115, and I do, except for that one. So that's what I need.
Here's number 61.
61. Very nice.
Nice Silver Age. All right, now we're just starting to get into whatever. So here's a nice Silver Surfer, number 1.
That's a beaut.
Yeah. I have a few more Silver Surfer. I'd love to get the whole run of Silver Surfer.
I have to agree with Biggie Shack's comment here, where a lot of these books would be the biggest book in some collector's collection. So,
well, thank you, Biggie. 52 years. I better have something to show for it, or I should hang my head in shame and just slink away. Okay, here we go. This is Tales of Suspense, number 64, Captain America, Iron Man. So nice. I'm just going to run through some of these. And someone, I think on your show or Alan's, was just showing a group of
Stevie D was showing them on Sunday.
Yeah. He just showed, so I won't take a long time with these. So this is number 70. Here's 74. 74. Just nice Kirby covers. 86. The opportunities I've had, when you're a certain age and, things just pass you by and it's like, what I could have had. But I'm happy, you got to be happy with what you have. This first MODOK, 94.
Yes.
All right, we'll show some of the early Captain Americas, and I have number 100. I didn't bring it for whatever reason. Here's 102. Everyone sees Captain America 100. Who sees these other ones? So here's 102. This is a really nice one. This is 109.
That is my favorite cover of the early Captain America.
This one, I really loved it. And I love, it's like a newspaper that he's busting through. Yeah. But the actual picture of Captain America is awesome too. And that one's in nice shape. Here's a Red Skull cover, number 115.
Beautiful. Just gorgeous.
115. Here's, okay. I have Captain America 100 to like 194. It's the whole run, except the first appearance of the Falcon. But I have the second appearance. So here's 118. So I'm missing one book.
Very cool, though.
That's the second appearance. All right, and here's just a random one, 123. Again, like I said, I have all these all the way up. All right, I brought some Silver Age Spider-Man. Here's number 59.
The Mary Jane Watson goes dancing while Spider-Man's fighting people cover. I love that one.
Now this one I bought off eBay in like 2003. It's a 4.0. It's number 29. So it's not in great shape. But I bought this sub $10. Back then, we're talking 22, 23 years ago. Very good copies of like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, whatever. They were going for nothing. Nothing.
Right. I know. And I was stupidly buying Superman books when I could have got.
So here's number 36. How are we doing on time, Matt? I got a lot more books. I got the big
Well,
books.
we're at 45 minutes.
Okay,
So go about 5 more minutes. Go about 5 more minutes and then show your biggie.
Okay, so just make sure you cut me off.
Yeah.
Because I got to get to the bigger books.
Mm-hmm.
Here's number 40. I love this cover. And then number 46. Is that the Shocker?
Shocker. Yeah.
Shocker. Yeah, Shocker. Okay, and then
Thomas is like, keep going. So.
I brought too many books. Here's number 52. I took a liking to this cover. I missed buying a really nice one because I was, pinching pennies, and then it started going way up. So I had to bite the bullet and pay whatever money for that. It's not a good copy. So this one I recently upgraded. I've upgraded a few of these. A few of these I've upgraded in the past 2 or 3 years. This is number 65. So if one is a little beat up,
wow.
So that's a nice one. And then this one is really high grade. This is number 97. This is part of that drug storyline.
Yes, 97, where Harry Osborn was stuck on drugs. Yes.
So they don't have the comics code
exactly
symbol on there.
You got to give Stan Lee credit. He did what he believed in. He believed to do it. He wanted to do it for the government and said, screw it, we're not going to send him the code. We're going to publish.
Absolutely. Here's 106. I just picked a couple of random ones just to show some Bronze Age. Here's number 110 with the gibbon on the cover.
The gibbon.
Oh, the gibbon.
That is the Marvel equivalent of the gorilla on the cover.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so back to the Hulk. After his first 6 books, he was in Tales to Astonish. Starting with number 59, that's this one. Nice. I bought this in 93. I didn't pay much for it. Of course, it's got a little strip at the top. I don't know, whatever. So that's 59. He's fighting Giant Man. Ant-Man became Giant Man. I don't know. It gets so confusing. So then number 60, he officially gets into half the book. So now Hulk is back as a monthly in a comic book. So that's number 60. And this one I had to show. This is number 100, which is a classic Submariner Hulk battle. Now, I've had this thing forever. I've had this from like 77 or something.
Wow.
I was thinking of buying like a high-grade slabbed, but there's so many priorities. You can't buy everything.
I know. That's the thing. You have to focus. That's the hardest thing.
Here's Hulk number 3. I bought this back when I first got back into comic books in like 92, 93. And then I also got this, number 4.
Wow.
I got this, number 5. And I know Stephen had beautiful copies of all these books. I had to let go, or at least number 1, that unbelievable number 1, to get his Captain America one, which is worth it. And number 6, this one's ratty, but
that's amazing. Anytime you can get the original 6 of the Hulks, you have to try and get it, because
I just showed you 3, 4, 5, and 6. I didn't show you 1 and 2, and that's another big heartache of mine. Is I had 25 years ago, I had 3 copies of number 1 and 3 copies of number 2, and I decided to sell all of them. I couldn't keep one. Couldn't keep one. Just keep one, Ken. Just keep one. Just one. Just one. No. So now you can forget about it. I have to sell my liver to All right. So let's go through a few of these.
Okay.
This is Marvel feature number 1. First so-called Defenders. Although they had like pre-appearances, I think, in the Submariner. I bought this. This is a book I bought in the 80s in my so-called when I went into hiding from comic books. And then I love this book. This is that Hulk special Steranko cover, right, with the Marie Severin face. So there's that one. So that's those. All right, Spider-Man 100. Love this book.
Very cool. We just saw that the other night too.
And this is on the wall behind me. It's a nice, the Dr. Doom Fantastic 457. and a nice Silver Surfer. I just like this Silver Surfer cover. Is that number 12? Oh, 11. Number 11. I know I'm flying through these, but I'm a glutton. You know, I need to get it all
Yeah.
in. X-Men 50.
Another beautiful one.
I bought this pretty high grade. This is
Biggie, I'm seeing some books we might have to put on the Bronze Age. Best
and then
Bronze.
we got an Iron Man number 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is a great cover. In the dark. Now I'm showing you one of the most important books, one of the most special books to me in my entire collection. Bought it at a convention in the 70s, maybe 77, 78. Cost me $3. And it's Hulk number 102.
$3.
So I've had $3. It was the most I ever spent on a comic book at the time, and for a while, $3.
Wow.
So I've had this for, well, we're not too far off 50 years. So that's very special to me. All right,
Very
we've kind of
cool.
got through.
Yeah, we're at the
go to
50.
the big books.
Sorry, what? We'll go to the big books now. Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
gonna say.
I mean, I got some random stuff, but I've shown so many. Like I think I'm out of
You're
my
doing
mind.
wonderful, and you know
Bringing so many comic books. You got to be.
what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come back and show us more. It's that simple.
All right, now they're in this. I'm going to show some of these golden age books that I've been getting in the past couple of
Awesome.
years. I really like this one. This is Diary of Horror number 1.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a very cool cover. I forgot the artist. A.C. Hollingsworth.
Nice.
Now, I bought a few Jack Kamen.
We got a
covers.
question in the crowd
Yeah.
here. Phil would like to know, are you ever going to grade any of the books?
Well, I always lead off with never say never, but I don't intend on grading any books. I want them raw. I'm not paying the fees to grade them. I'm not going through all the BS to grade them. I'm not getting disappointed with the grades, and I'm not doing it. I buy Golden Age books graded because I want it for the, so they're certifying that they're not restored. Okay, so this, I've been buying some Jack Kamen covers. This is one that I really like. This is Zoot number 11.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. I think Alan has that.
Yeah, Alan has this.
Yeah.
I know when Alan got this because I saw his video showing it, and I'm like, I wanted that book, but sometime after, 7 or 8 months later, I got this one. Now, this is a book. This is a cover I love. This is a very expensive book. I got it in a 1.8. This is Fighting Yank number 23. It's an Alex Schomburg cover, but you gotta love this.
Oh,
You've
I do.
got to love this book. You got the woman in the red dress. She's in peril. She's got this King Cobra, whatever the heck the snake is, and then you got the hooded guys. You know, when the hooded guys show up on a Golden Age cover, you know, it's already cool. So, Fighting Yank number 23. All right, now I'm going into the locked case for the last few. Oh God.
He's even got them in a special container, everybody.
Yeah, so after decades of like Conan the Barbarian, I finally got a graded one. So
Wow.
number 1 in a 9.4. This is a really beautiful one.
Beautiful is
9.4.
right.
So that's that. Now I'm showing you my favorite Bronze Age cover, period. Do I even have to say what it is?
You don't have to say a word. I think everybody out here knows which one that is.
Now, I don't know if you could see, this is an 8.0, but this is incredible.
It's amazing.
The reason it's an 8.0 is it's some tape on the interior cover. Now, normally it's like I would just say forget about it, but the condition of this is just gorgeous. I bought this a few years ago, before they went even higher, right? All right, now here's an LB Cole cover that I love. I was after this for a while. This is Terrors of the Jungle number 18. The colors on this are really cool.
Beautiful.
I'm seeing a lot of reflection. I hope you're able
No,
to see
no, we
it.
can see them.
I think
when
this
you
is-
have them on the angle,
Yeah,
we don't see the reflection like that. That's perfect.
that's good because
Yeah.
it's been driving me crazy. Now I just got this book. This is for me is an expensive book. It's a Schomburg cover. This is one of the ones I just felt I had to have. This is Wonder Comics number 13.
Another beautiful one.
So
well
this
worth
is,
well worth the price, I'm sure.
I was really, really happy to get this one. I just showed a Terrors of the Jungle. There was another one that was just sold in a heritage auction. I've been waiting a month for that thing. It sold for like double, at least double than I expected. So I didn't get it. I'm like, these people are nuts what they're spending. All right, Matt, I think I've been whipping through these like crazy. So I'm going to the last book I'm going to show. And this is the biggest book in my collection as far as value wise. And I love this cover. I think it's really cool. Golden Age book. It's 1943. It's Captain America Comics, number 27.
Very cool.
Now, as you can see, it's a war cover, and he's on the motorcycle. I just love that.
I believe that's the book we're covering on Book Club tomorrow night.
Really?
Yes.
He's shooting over the top of the Nazis. Yeah, they're not the Japanese, they're the Nazis. On the motorcycle with Bucky on the back shooting his machine gun. I love how they're Bucky and Cap, they're like shooting machine guns. They're firing flamethrowers. When one cover, Bucky's got a baseball bat, which is the one I really want to get. I think it's number 39. So that's it.
That's a great book.
So I showed a lot of books. I hope it wasn't. I hope it came across okay, and I didn't look silly whipping.
It was great. This was an amazing episode. Got to see a lot of books that I hadn't seen before. You showed a lot of books that a lot of people would call filler, but I don't. I think that every issue is important, and it's amazing. Like, I got to see books I hadn't seen before. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Next week, everybody, join us on Tuesday when my guest will be Kevin from Docs Comics. And I'm going to reveal the prizes that I'm going to talk about the prizes I'm going to offer. We're only 60 subs away from the big 1,000 party. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. I certainly did. And if you're watching on the replay, please leave a comment on which your favorite book that Kenny had. Kenny can be found on IG as Arcadia Comics. And he does have a YouTube channel, which I'm going to add to the description later under his name, Kenny Numbers. Kenny, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matt.
It's been a blast. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.